Hello, this is Jules, and today I will be reviewing 3XL's book, Rubber Life. The reason I am reviewing this book is because I was contacted by 3XL and he wanted to know my opinion about it. And number one, I was flattered. And number two, I was really curious and interested in how he would put together his experiences and his trials and tribulations together into a book to be able to help others. About the author, 3XL is the webmaster and owner of the site lustlovelatex.com, and it's been around for a while. He's not like a pro writer or anything. He actually, I believe, is a graphic designer. So, you know, this book was actually a labor of love and something, you know, that stemmed from a topic that he's passionate about. So, you know, it's not like he's going around writing a lot of books. I believe this is his only one. The first time I came across 3XL, I think it was in the early 2000s, and I believe we met on IAR, that's International Association of Rubberists, and I was brand new at the time, and because I was a female and brand new, and I was open to talking to a lot of people, you know, to get advice and knowledge tips and whatnot. A lot of guys approached me, talked to me, etc. But one thing that stuck out about 3XL is that he wasn't the typical wankster guy online. We talked about latex, of course, and, you know, family, friends, work, and he wasn't creepy. I mean, that was a big thing, and that's probably why we still talk today. And, you know, I would do something like this for him because he wasn't just one of those creepy, freaky guys. It's like, what you wearing? What you wearing? You know, so I had a lot of respect for him, even back then. And, you know, so I've shared a lot of my latex firsts with him. You know, the first time I got a cat suit, I think I hopped on webcam and I had to show him. And I remember him taking a screenshot of it and putting it in his gallery on his site. And I was kind of embarrassed because he had all these galleries of these beautiful latex models, and then there were pictures of me. I believe I was sitting at my desk in my bedroom at the time, and in the background there was like a comforter with teddy bears on it. And looking back now, you know, I'm like, wow, you know, yeah, you should have been embarrassed. But he was that kind of guy, you know. He wasn't like, oh, I'm only going to put the elite people in my gallery. So, you know, that's why I had so much respect for him, and that's why I love him so much. So I'm going to link you to the site in my down bar, and make sure you go visit. About the book. At first glance, it would kind of look like maybe a coffee table book, something that you would kind of just get for the pictures. But, I mean, if that's what you do, you are seriously, seriously missing out on a lot of what the book has to offer. Not only does it come in hard copy, it also comes in ebook format and audiobook format. I have all the formats, but I believe that the hard copy is my favorite simply because my copy is autographed. If there's one thing about this book, you know, one thing that I had to say about it, it is very, very comprehensive. My personal impressions about the book. I think that the book, I mean, it is written by a male, but I think some of the topics that it covers is going to be beneficial mostly for males. And I'm not saying this in a way where, you know, I'm saying the author is chauvinistic or he's playing favorites, but it's simply the fact that it's usually males who have problems integrating fetish with their lives or coming, out into the community. It's rarely females that have that issue. I mean, if you look at all the questions or, on the online forums and such, it's usually males that have these types of issues. So part of the book, I think, is dedicated more to males than females. I mean, there are definitely areas of the book that are unisex where both genders can get something out of it, but some parts are definitely geared toward males, and not all males. I would say that it would be toward males who are having such issues, such as reconciling, their fetish and their feelings about it and whatnot. And for these males, there are areas which will maybe help you improve the things that you're not so satisfied about. A big question that comes up often is, how do I find a latex loving partner? And 3XL is really qualified to kind of answer that question and maybe outline steps that you should take, because he started out, when I first met him, he was in a relationship where his significant other wasn't into the fetish at all, and I believe she was kind of repulsed by it. And now he's married to someone who loves latex as much as he does, and they go to a lot of events. I mean, they're living a latex lifestyle basically, and that's what a lot of guys are looking for. So who better to kind of guide you and walk you through the steps than someone who's been through it themselves. Parts of the book that everyone can benefit from would be areas of, say, the different kinds of play that you can get into when in latex, from something like breath play to role plays. There's suggestions, and not only that, but how to go about it safely. Because, I mean, some of the play that incorporate rubber can be a little bit dangerous, and safety is a big aspect of the book. And it also goes into the area where, there's a lot of people who look at the porn or read blogs, and, since they haven't done any of this themselves, they can't separate the reality of wearing latex, whether it's long-term or, heavy layers, from the fantasy of it. And this book does help you distinguish the fantasy and reality of it. And I mean, it doesn't detract from it so that you're like, oh, damn, I wanted to stand rubber and have it melted into my skin and now I can't. If that's what you want and that's what you want to do, you're probably a little far off and far gone anyways. But, things that you may want to try, well, you can still do it, but there's ways to do it safer. And of course, it goes into building your latex wardrobe. I wish I had this book when I first started, because it tells you, logical steps on where you should start, how to build your latex wardrobe so that you could get the biggest bang for your buck, and how to take care of it. I mean, once you have all these beautiful garments, how should you take care of it? So it like I said, it's very, very comprehensive. It covers so many topics. It is something, it's a book that, he's put in a lot of thought and all sorts of aspects, such as how you should make your online profile to be appealing, how you should interact, if you do go to events, what you should expect, how to come out to your family and friends if you choose to do so. I mean, it touches on so many topics that, the same questions keep coming up. And, if you have this book, you have not only, a really pretty book with pictures and such in it, but it's like a reference. You could always come back to it, and, if you're not seeing results, there are a lot of suggestions. So the book is very, very helpful. It will prevent you from being that creepy guy. It will also help you locate events around you and vendors. I mean, there are reference lists to websites and places and parties should you decide to make that leap. So once again, he's got your back, he's got you covered. In conclusion, this book is a very pretty book. I mean, here's the cover, and it's nice and glossy and shiny. But, you know, like I said, you're selling it short if you're just looking for a picture book. I mean, there are a lot of pictures inside, but there's also that treasure trove and wealth of information that, you know, it's just hard to find it all in one place. You would have to go to so many sites, so many forums, ask so many questions to get all the information that's contained in this book. Me personally, I wish more males, more fetishist males, because I mean, the subject matter is really the latex fetish, but it's applicable to pretty much any fetish. And I wish, you know, more fetishist guys would read this book, because you just won't come off as creepy. You know, you would say, oh shit, you know, I do this, and maybe I should stop, and maybe I should approach it from this angle, and I won't be looked upon as a douche nozzle or just plain creepy. And another aspect of this book, which I really enjoyed, was that it was gentle. It's non-judgmental, it's not condescending, it's not talking down to you. It's kind of like, hey, I'm here with you. And a lot of times it's done with humor. As I read this book, I also followed along with the audiobook, so I was able to listen, and I got to giggle a little bit, you know, because I was walking down memory lane and like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened to me. So, you know, it's a reference book, I would say, but also it's very friendly and gentle. Well, that concludes my review of Rubber Life by 3XL. If you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'll get back to you. And I hope you enjoyed and found this review helpful. Thanks for watching.